Communication studies, we are kind of like the chemist in the social world. Atoms and molecules come together, and there's some kind of invisible force that pulls things together. We don't wear lab coats, but it's kind of similar.
Communication studies engages many of the most complicated challenges that we face, right? Comm studies calls for us to understand not just similarities, but also differences.
It's the experiences, it's the empathy that's involved. It's understanding who I'm talking to and how they communicate with me. It's not just about my communication style, it's also about their communication style. And everybody's different, and that's what makes the world so great, because everybody's unique and everybody's themselves.
Taking that discipline and learning how to communicate with other people in throughout history and the basis of how we communicate ideas, expressions, messages.
We actually make real observations about communication in the political world, or communication in the social world, communication in the organizational world, and so forth. And based on these observations, we start kind of formulating theories or ideas about, well, what is working here? Why is it working this way? Who wins? Who loses? What can be done to make it better for more people? This is kind of why we say we are kind of like the chemists of the world, because we think about those invisible bonds. Very often they work through communication, which you cannot see with the naked eye.
There's rhetoric, there's media studies, and there's relational communication. Relational communication is like interpersonal comm, intercultural comm, organizational comm, anything that specifically refers to the relationships that people have with each other. Media studies focuses specifically on how do we engage with larger questions of how the media interacts with us. This can either be done through journalism, mass media, or even just media criticism. And then rhetoric focuses on how meaning is shaped through discourse. How do we come to share meaning through symbols?
The major also offers a variety, a whole suite of other more practical classes. We can call them the skills classes. And so those classes are places where students can actually practice the communication skills, the kind of communication performances that we talk about in the research classes.
CLA has a lot of different ways to get involved and to take your passions and what you're interested in learning, and to take them out of the classroom and actually do them practically.
Our debate team and our forensics team, this is by definition a place where students learn how to research and argue and debate big topics, complex topics, and make arguments that are again oriented towards the public good. Also within our classes, there are multiple options for students to do projects that connect the academic learning and academic knowledge with practical observations and practical involvement with the world. You're not in a gated community. You're not in an island that has a wall around it. The campus itself is deeply, deeply embedded in the social environment that are the Twin Cities, but also the rest of Minnesota.
So there's a very big network here that you can build. It's definitely the strongest thing that I took away from graduating there.
We have a long list of fantastic advisors that serve not just as faculty and teachers, but also as mentors. And then ultimately the research agenda here is really, really good. If you go anywhere in the department, you'll probably see some form of award or research grant that some graduate student or some faculty has been awarded.
When I came here, my teachers and professors, they really made it clear that they cared about our success in the course and made their availability really open. My professors were always understanding of things, and they wanted me to do well.
Regardless of what role you're going to be in, whether you're working in an area like video, or you're working in more of an area that involves more writing, or more contacting and talking to your coworkers, or trying to communicate anything really. There's so many different ways to go about it, and I think communication studies really helps you find out what the most efficient and the most powerful ways of doing that are in the world today.
You will recognize why sometimes communities work well and sometimes they don't, and be able to put your finger on that and see that invisible air that moves from body to body, and be able to name it, and be able to evaluate it, and be able to redirect it. Those are magical powers to many, because communication to many is invisible like air. But we give students that special vision to be able to see that which moves in between and makes the kind of that social stuff work together.